Did you know that our physiological bodies can process and flush out anger and other emotions in just a matter of minutes? It can return to baseline relatively quickly. Not so much the case with our emotional and cognitive system. So, why do we hold on to anger, fear, and anxiety longer than we have to, especially when our bodies are so readily equipped to move on? Welcome back to Q Therapy. Today we're diving into a new and fascinating concept from the world of dialectical behavior therapy called the Wise Mind. If you've ever felt torn between what your head says and what your heart feels, this one's for you. I'll be tailoring today's talk to the experiences of our wonderful LGBTQ community and to anyone who's ever grappled with decisions or feelings surrounding their identity and relationships. So let's picture a Venn diagram where one circle represents your emotional mind, which helps you feel what you feel and helps you connect with yourself and others. And think of another circle in this diagram that represents your reasoning mind, where logic, ration, reasoning, analyzing, and problem solving flourish. That spot in the middle, that's the wise mind, where feelings meet reason. It's about tapping into your inner intuition, which is driven by your true intrinsic self. It's where our behaviors align with our goals. It's where we tell ourselves, I know I can't quit my job even though I'm at my wit's end, but I know I can calm down and get organized. Or even though my BFF drives me nuts, I still love them and know I can reach a compromise with them. Now let's dive into some examples specifically for LGBTQ plus individuals. Say you're contemplating coming out to your family or friends. Your emotional mind might be saying, I need to be true to myself and share this now. Feelings of being excited and nervous are what drives us to make decisions in the emotional mind. But your rational mind might chime in with, it's not safe, or they might not understand. Which makes sense because the reasoning mind is all about logic, ration, and analysis. The problem with that is that your head is now beginning to spin with all kinds of ideas and tactics. And the problem with the emotional mind is that your feelings can cloud your judgment, making it really hard to problem solve or rationalize. Navigating this decision by channeling your wise mind means considering both your emotional needs and your safety and well being. It might lead you to choose a suitable time, place, or even specific people to first open up to and be honest as it relates to your identity and sexual orientation. Going back to that fun little fact I mentioned earlier, the body's acute physiological reaction to fear and anxiety is typically short lived, lasting only a few minutes, and then it starts working to return to a baseline. However, the emotional and cognitive processing of these events is a different ballgame. Constant rumination, emotional reflection, excessive overanalyzing, and rationalizing about certain events can continue long after the physiological symptoms have subsided. So, that anxiety or stress you might be feeling about coming out, if emotionally and cognitively attached to for too long, can last hours, days, or even longer. Of course, depending on the individual and the nature of the event or situation. Which is why the wise mind has a super crucial role in rectifying this emotional and cognitive aftermath effect. You see, in wise mind, you can honor and validate your feelings without commanding them to go away and without quickly jumping into problem solving. You see, now you're at a much better advantage where your behaviors align with your goals, and your physiology is not forced to remain in a constant state of panic, unrest, and unease. Eventually, the body will follow suit and take the lead of the wise mind, meaning you'll start to notice you're more at ease and relieved. Another example is when it comes to romantic relationships, where your heart says one thing but logic says another. Maybe you've fallen for someone who doesn't respect your identity, or you're trying to fit into a type that it's expected in certain LGBTQ plus circles. Your emotional mind might be all about sparks and excitement, but your rational mind knows the importance of self respect and authenticity. Tapping into your wise mind can help in finding a relationship where you're loved and celebrated for who you truly are, by not allowing yourself to be driven by raw emotions or by fear of never meeting the right person, nor about solely relying on logic and rationale. And you might find it hard to connect and experience deep learning about how conflict in relationships might actually be a good thing. A final example is when it comes to gender expression. If you're considering transitioning or experimenting with your gender presentation, your emotional mind might feel the urgency and importance of how you express yourself, while your rational mind might be worried about societal reactions or practicalities. Tapping into the wise mind means finding ways to express yourself authentically while also ensuring you're in a safe and supportive environment. Remember, everyone's journey is unique, and the LGBTQ plus experience is rich and diverse. While the wise mind is a tool, it's not always an answer. It's there to help you find balance in decisions that involve both your heart and your head. Well, I hope you found this video to be educational or at the very least interesting. Until next time, stay safe and be well.